some people here for, I mean people would be back for the first time. No, I mean, you said people that are here for the first time?
This is our first day of race.
Right.
So we only have 25 people.
That's cool. Okay, well, we'll see how it works with the live stream thing. Might have to remind me that
Then just show me the chapter, because that really is the rule we're trying to enforce, or the other way.
The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in fear and error pining, till He appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, or hear the angel voices. Night divine, oh night. His law is love, and His gospel is peace. Chains shall He break, for the slave is our brother, and in His name all oppression shall cease. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night, when Christ was born.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. This grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieve.
Good morning, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center Spokane, where we're all about our mission of transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. That opening was quite beautiful this morning. I'm already kind of infilled with a lot of love and a lot of hope. My name is Jeff Hunter, and I will be your platform assistant this morning. Today is our first Sunday service following the retirement of our beloved co-ministers, Dr. Gary and Reverend Jane. I hope you're watching at home and enjoying your very first free Sunday in retirement. We miss you a lot, and we know that you will spread your wings and have a wonderful journey. As always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. I will say it once and then ask you to repeat it with me. There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, active in my life and in the universe, God the good. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good. This is Unity's foundation principle. One presence, one power, one life, living through and as each one of us. This morning, we are very grateful to have what I consider a very good friend of mine, Reverend Rich Broderhausen, as our transformational speaker. Reverend Rich will be sharing his Christmas message called, Come Let Us Adore Him. He will also be leading us in meditation following the talk. A quick side note, sorry, but I'm up here so I get the microphone. Royce Gorseth and Rich Broderhausen were the first people that talked to me on the first Sunday that Diane and I came to church. And ever since then, those two men got me involved in the church, and what you see 40 years later is this. So thank you. And Royce Gorseth is here today, and thank you, Rich. That's what it takes. That one-to-one connection is what it really takes. Let me find my script now. I went off script just a little. Okay. During today's service, we will also be honoring the amazing, I will say this again, amazing Sean and Tawny Wright, as well as hearing from our gorgeous Unity Choir. Please be sure to stay for the entire service and enjoy all this Christmas Sunday has to offer. And now here's Amber McKenzie with news you can use.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. My name is Amber McKenzie, and this is our first service where we have invited people in. So we're having a virtual service as well as an in-person service. The numbers are limited, and so I just want to first start out with kind of some of our COVID guidelines. So go ahead and go to the next slide. So we want everyone to really pay attention to this. If you come to in-person services, one of the most important things is that we need you to register in advance. That's what many of us have to do nowadays, is register in advance. And so you will find that you can register at unityspokane.org/tickets. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to is that it's not a one-click submission. You need to fill out the first form and then go to checkout to complete your registration. It asks for billing details. Those are not billing details. Do not worry. You do not have to pay to come. It's free. We want you to come. So please be sure to go to checkout before submitting. You should receive an email that confirms that we received it, okay? And then if you have any questions, feel free to call Unity and leave a message if no one is available to answer, and we will get back to you. Okay, so most important thing, please register. Also, it's important that you come a little early so that we can make sure to get everybody that's on our list checked in and registered. Okay, so just come a little bit early, before 10 o'clock, probably like at least 15 minutes early would be the ideal. Okay, also, if you're sick, of course, please stay at home. Any type of symptom, please stay at home. That's very important. Also, we have hand sanitizer available throughout the center. So we want to make sure that you have nice, clean hands, and that also leads to number 2 rule, which is, of course, you must wear a mask and social distance. So when you arrive, you can just simply go to your seat and just make sure that you are 6 feet apart from each other. And then we're also asking people, as soon as services are over, please exit the building immediately so that there's no congregating in the sanctuary or in the center. You can go outside where, in the open air, if you need to congregate. So just keep that in mind. Also, for the bathrooms, 1 person in the bathroom at a time, unless you're a family. Of course, then that's okay, but 1 person at a time, and then make sure to kind of spray down the area that you used. And then also follow the arrows. We're asking people to stay to the right. So when you exit today, right after services, just exit the sanctuary, stay to your right. You'll be led all the way around outdoors. And then also, exit immediately. I already covered that. Exit immediately following services. And then the bookstore is closed today. However, you can make an appointment with Linda to shop. So and she'll be in on Wednesday and Thursday this week. So please call in advance if you'd like to, let's say, for example, buy a prayer circlet. There's 21 still available. That is a fundraiser we're doing right now. They're beautiful, they're $20, and like I said, Linda would be available by appointment to take a look at those and to purchase those. Or if there's other things in the bookstore, cards, etc., just check in with Linda and you can make that appointment. Okay, I think that covers everything with the COVID guidelines. Next, we want to promote our Transformational speaker series that's coming up. First of all, we're having our Christmas Eve service. It's going to be virtual only, but it'll be at 7 p.m. on Thursday evening. So please make sure to tune in and watch that live on Facebook or YouTube, either one. The title of that service is The Birth of Faith. So it'll be really cool. And then on December 27th, we have transformational speaker Richard Seaman, who will be speaking on his talk, which is titled Raising Your Intention. Now, this is really specific to the new year and raising your intention for 2021. It's a part 1 of a 2-part series. The part 2 will be on January 17th. And of course, if you miss the December 27th message, you can always watch it online prior to the January 17th part 2. And so basically what he's going to be talking about is raising your attention in the world and the alignment and shifts that focus you on how may I serve as opposed to what will I get. So it's a shift. And so Richard is the founder of Seattle Life Coach Training and the author of the book Spiritual Reliability, Learning to Become God's Employee. And he is a very skilled teacher and trainer and speaker. So we're very excited to have him next Sunday, the 27th. If you want to register for an in-person service, you would have to do that on Tuesday. Okay, so this Tuesday, you can go on to unityspokane.org/tickets and reserve your seats for that Sunday. And then on Sunday, January 3rd, Karen Dunmore, licensed Unity teacher, Karen Dunmore, will be doing the white stone ceremony, which is a symbolic ritual that many Unity churches do every New Year on that first Sunday of the New Year. And the white stone represents a clean slate upon which we write a name or word for ourselves, and this name is given to us by Spirit through prayer, meditation, and contemplation. So please join us for that powerful releasing ceremony on Sunday, January 3rd. Okay, and Unity, as always, is closed between Christmas and New Year's, so keep that in mind. Again, Linda will be here this upcoming week on Wednesday and Thursday. So if you do want to come in and shop, please avail yourselves to Linda and just make an appointment in advance. And finally, after services today, we will be doing our Zoom call. We're calling it a Zoom ROI call, Mission in Action. What that stands for is reflections, observations, inspirations. The idea here is that we really want you to connect what you hear at Unity to your life. That's what transformation is all about. And so if you're watching virtually, we want you to join us in the Zoom room and talk about your reflections, your observations, and your inspirations. And so we hope you join us today, right after services. You'll see the Zoom number up on the screen. Feel free to log in, and we look forward to talking with you. Okay, and now we've got Jim Sledge, who will be giving us the ministerial update. Take it away, Jim.
Well, thank you for that warm welcome. Good morning. My name is Jim Sledge, just in case you've forgotten over the last 9 months. And no, I'm not talking about the treasurer stuff. This is different. I'm the chairperson for the search committee looking for our next minister. And I thought I would take just a few moments and kind of bring everybody up to date. We have been meeting a couple of 3-4 times and coming together with using the survey results, which were fantastic, by the way, to inform our filling out the packet of information that goes to Unity Worldwide. So once that takes place, which will probably be the first part of January, then Unity Worldwide will broadcast our information out to those people who might be interested in the position here of minister. Once that happens, then the people who are interested would provide applications back to us, and the search committee then will go through those applications to determine which of 2, 3, 4 people fit most likely with our congregation here, with where we want to go. At that point in time, then we'll turn the search over to the board, and the board will decide who to have come visit and try out. So in a timeline, we're looking probably, if everything goes well, and it hopefully will go well because it's no longer 2020 at that point, then we should probably have a candidate probably by late spring, maybe even early June. So there's light at the end of the tunnel in many ways, and I want to let you know who was on the search committee in case you would like to ask them a question or have a suggestion. We have John Cook, Shalone Parker, Randy Slate, Kathy Dennany, Judy Jameson is the board liaison, and myself. So we're working hard to get this going, and we're very excited at the possibilities coming for us in this next year. So again, if you have any suggestions, we would love to hear from you, but we have gotten a wealth of information from the survey. So we're very confident that we know what the congregation is looking for and are able to put that forward. So hopefully I'll be able to talking to you again in the next couple months with another update. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. And now we've got Karen Dunmore, who will come up and light our Advent candle.
This is the fourth Sunday in Advent, the last. And this fourth Sunday is about joy. And I think I need a new trigger here. Anyway, Charles Fillmore in the Revealing Word tells us that joy is the happiness of God expressed through humankind. Because I am God's child, I am a living expression of joy. I am an open channel of God's love and joy. When family and friends gather, this is a time of joy and love, caring and compassion, of opening my mind and heart, my very soul, to the divine. Joy is a divinely inspired attitude I take with me into every experience of my life. I share my attitude with everyone I meet as the divine happiness in me recognizes itself in them. I gratefully affirm, the joy of the Lord is my strength. I am God's joy. And this candle is lit for joy. And now, I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker. Oh, there is. In a moment, I will have the pleasure of introducing our speaker.
We lift our candles in the darkness. We stand together in the light to warn and reach out with faith to claim our better selves again. We are the bearers of the light. We sing the hope into the sun. We sing the hope into the sun. We lift our voices, show us strong. To set the human spirit free, to sing our shared humanity. We are the keepers of the song. We are the keepers of the song. We raise our eyes to the heavens, to the clouds behind the stars. We stand, we sing, we shine our light. This is who we are. We join as one for peace and justice. We join as one. We sing to make the broken whole. To speak the truth, to take a stand, we walk together hand in hand. We are the drumming of the soul. We are the drumming of the soul. Our journey urges us onward, even though we've come so far. We stand, we sing, we shine our light. This is who we are. We raise our eyes to the heavens, to the clouds behind the stars. We stand, we sing, we shine our light. We shine our light. This is who we
Okay, now I have the privilege of introducing our guest speaker, Reverend Rich Broderhausen, who is leading our service today. As many of you might know, Rich and Kris were both members here until they went to Ministerial school and became ordained Unity ministers. They returned and opened a church home in North Spokane and started their ministry, where it thrived for many years. They eventually bought property and erected Unity Church of North Idaho on the site where it now exists. I attended this church for a few years when I lived in Spokane, and I always loved the beautiful meditations from Kris and the morning messages from Rich. And one of the special things about that church was for those couple years, we got these little cards every Sunday that had the mission statement on the back. And I'll give you an idea of when this was, because it's the first time I've cleaned my car in 12 years, and I found a whole pile of these. Or not my car, my truck. Anyway, I'm just going to read this one because it is from this week, back in 2006, actually. This week I focused upon these words, "Be not afraid, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, which will come to all people. For to you is born this day Christ the Lord." And that's from Luke 2, verses 10 and 11. And then Charles Fillmore has a little one on here, joy, the happiness of God expressed through God's perfect idea, humankind. I love these things. So anyway, let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Rich Broderhausen.
Fortunately, my ear didn't come off at the same time. Good morning, everyone. And it's okay, I'm standing way up here. My Gonzaga mask is safe. And so are you. And so are you at home. So, thank you for that introduction. Appreciate that. I did spend time at Unity of North Idaho, by the way, when we made our transition from Unity, which was then Unity Church of Truth, and we lived in Idaho all that time. And we used to drive an hour to come to church, and an hour home, and an hour for late night board meetings, and an hour for YOU activities, and all of that. And we finally decided, maybe we don't want to drive that far. But you know, you drive to where you are fed. And I very much appreciate all of the feeding that was done of myself and my wife and our kids here at Unity Church of Truth, as it was known, but now Unity Spiritual Center of Spokane. So I want to, this is quite a Sunday to follow Gary and Jane, and I did watch the service last week and was very moved by what Jane had to say and by Gary's meditation and by the outpouring of love that has been shown to them. And so if you are watching, and hey, you may not be, you know, I retired a year ago, and I watched the services really close for a while. It's a funny thing that, you know, I retired, but I'm still very, very much invested, which Gary and Jane, I'm sure, are as well, as you are very much invested in them. And so we honor them. It's also, we honor Sean and Tawny today and their contributions to this ministry, and I know they've touched many who are here. And also, I wasn't supposed to be here today, but it's a divine appointment. My very first Unity minister, David McClure, and his beautiful wife, Donna, when David was here, when we first came here in the last Sunday in January 1982. And what a day that was for us. What a day that was for me. You know, even now the tears want to come because I'm kind of a crybaby in a way, and that's okay. I don't mind. Jim Rosenberg, he taught me it was okay to cry, and I'm sure a lot of you remember Jim very well. But David has had the COVID. Donna has, and David, I understand, is getting better, but he's quite weak. And, you know, when I first heard that, my first reaction was not a very spiritual one. It was an, oh, And then I started to pray. And I know people who have passed. I know that you know people who have passed. And that there are so many people who are suffering the loss of loved ones this holiday. And so I just, to begin with, like us to take a moment and send waves of golden rays and rose pink healing rays to David and Donna and everyone that we know that may be experiencing the COVID. Anyone who we know whose family is missing them today. And so if you can just visualize those rays, the golden rays, the rose pink rays, and just surround all of them with your love. And so, it is done. And let us not forget to repeat that as we go through these next several months. I want to thank you, Amber, for inviting me to take David McClure's place, because he was supposed to be here today. And that's how I ended up here. And so anytime that you're expecting David and I show up, I hope it's okay. I don't know exactly what to say. You notice when Amber was doing the announcements and everything, how organized she was? You know, how matter-of-fact she was? I think I'd have to go back and listen to the service and view the service on mine if I knew when I needed to sign up to be here for next Sunday. But maybe you don't, because there's only 25 people that are supposed to be here, by the way, so that's a pretty awesome little crowd, along with hopefully a huge crowd out there. When Amber called me and asked me to speak, I don't know if she emailed me first and let me know that David was not going to be able to make it, or called me. And I said, okay, great. And 2 days later, she says, okay, so I need your talk title and a summary of your talk. Well, she didn't know me very well, because, yeah, I reached out and tried to grab a talk title. I worked on it for a long time, and I'm thinking, you know, when I speak, I don't usually give a summary before. I ask you, you can give me a summary after. So we'll see how that works, because I think I strayed from part of the topic. I don't know what was said exactly. So the title that we have today is Come, Let Us Adore. Come, let us adore. Just to be honest with you, you know, it's this morning that I actually prepared this talk. I grab pieces from here and pieces from there and think about it through the period of the week. That's why I can't give you a summary in advance. And I think I got that from David McClure. How many people have been here or remember David's days here? If you remember, awesome. So you remember David used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he would write his talk out on yellow sheets and come in. And I think that's why I thought that's the way you're supposed to do this, because he was my first one. So, and actually I want to let you know also, I haven't spoken in front of people in 364 days and about 23 hours. So bear with me. I hope I can keep the timetable. Originally I told my wife, Kris, who sends her love to all of you out there and all of you here, I said, I think my title is going to be The Christ of Christmas Past, The Christ of Christmas Present, and The Christ of Christmas Future. And she said, well, that sounds more like a series than one talk, so you better shut that down a little bit. So I have. And I can see now from the clock that I need to move ahead a little bit. So, anybody write a letter to Santa this year? No letters to Santa? Well, a good friend of mine, John LeBay, before he passed on, left me with a whole box full of cartoons and great sayings. I don't know what happened to the great sayings. I was going to start out with those, but evidently I left them at home. So this is what we're going to get. It's a Dear Santa letter. Dear Santa, this year, all I want for Christmas is a fat bank account and a skinny body. Let's try not to mix the two up like you did last year. I like that. So enough of that. Also, first slide. Oh, it's already up there. What happens under the mistletoe stays under the mistletoe. Is that true? Yeah, people are shaking their head no. Can you see what's happening there? That a cat and a dog are kissing. How sweet that is. What that makes me think is, you know, that song, This Is Who We Are, that was a beautiful song. And I'm glad that it was sung by the virtual choir. I didn't know what a virtual choir was at first. Now I understand what a virtual choir is. So bless all you choir members for doing that. This has been a tumultuous year, has it not? It's one I know a lot of people would just plain like to forget. What comes to me is that what happens under the mistletoe shouldn't stay under the mistletoe. I have to admit to you that after I left full-time ministry and went through this year, that sometimes I found myself standing in front of the TV set saying things that a minister would never say, making hand gestures that a minister would never make. And Kris always tried to catch me on that. In fact, she always did catch me on that. And I realized, well, so this is what it's like not to be in the pulpit. Because being able to speak and being able to dig into spiritual truths and study keeps me focused. And I've often said up at Unity Center, Divine Love and Light, these are for me. When I talk, I give these talks, they're really for me, and hopefully you'll get something from them that you can take with you. My question becomes, when I think about all of that, are we human beings having a spiritual experience? Are we? Or are we spiritual beings having a human experience? So, I think that I have come to believe that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And I think it's very, very important for us, and I know it's important for me before I celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, the birth of the Christ this week, to clear all that stuff out. We've got to get rid of all of that stuff. We've got to get rid of all of those attitudes, all of those responses that, I don't know if you've had them, but certainly I have. Get rid of all of those things that would keep us from being the spiritual beings that we truly are. And so I would share with you 5 cardinal sins. Yes, I said sins in a Unity church. 5 cardinal sins which keep us from being who we really are. And I don't have a slide for this, but criticism. We find ourselves criticizing. And we know what that is, don't we? We all know, because we've all done it. And maybe many of you have risen above that when it comes to looking at what's going on the world stage. But criticism, condemnation, God forgive me for those and that which I have condemned. And it's so easy to do. It's so easy to let the human take over and forget, no, I'm a spiritual being. Yeah, I'm having a human experience, but let's not get totally wrapped up in it. Other one, and it kind of includes these other two, is judgment. Are we judging? Jesus said, judge not lest you be judged. That doesn't mean that we're not discerning, but judging. Is there anyone in here or out there who does not believe that the spark of the Christ and the spark of God is within every human being? No. I wouldn't believe that there is in this room. No matter how a person is acting out. And believe me, I have acted out in ways throughout 73 years that I'm not proud of. And if someone had taken a snapshot at a particular time, they would never want to have anything to do with me. And maybe all of us can say that. And so it's very, very important. Criticism, condemnation, judgment, blame. There's that old thing about when you point the finger at somebody else, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. When you give the finger to somebody else, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. What we put out there comes right back to us. We know that. We can feel it within ourselves. And the last one is gossip. Boy, is that a tough one. When do I move into gossip? When do I start talking about somebody brings something up and, yeah, I'm going to go right with it. I'm going to join in. Yeah, that just is the most terrible thing I've ever seen in my life. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Or that person, this person, whatever it is. Criticism. Say that together. Criticism. Condemnation. Judgment. Blame. Gossip. It's an opportunity to bite our tongues. It's interesting, it came to me this morning. Jesus said, love your enemy and do good to those who persecute you. How about loving those you persecute? That kind of brings it home to me. So moving on here, I know we're expecting a lesson today, and this is just kind of an introduction so far, something that I thought was important. What is our greatest desire? What is our greatest desire? What is your greatest desire this Christmas? Have you really honed in on it? Have you really thought about what your greatest desire is? So many times I can remember sitting out there and listening to Jim Rosemary, who is a modern-day mystic in my mind. And he would say, our greatest desire is to know God. Our greatest desire is to know God. And, it doesn't have to be God, because we know God is love. So maybe our greatest desire is to know love. And we can call that God. Charles Fillmore said, love is the glue that holds the entire universe together. Well, I'd like to call that a power greater than myself. So I don't mind calling it God. There was a time in my life where I didn't want to say the word God. I didn't want to have anything to do with Jesus Christ. Man, it was over. But I've come back to the realization through these years how important it is to acknowledge that power that's greater than myself. So come, let us adore. Unfortunately, there's not a nativity scene up here. I had a slide of one, and then I didn't put it in. But if you can imagine a nativity scene, what do you see? You see the baby Jesus in a manger. You see Mary and Joseph generally just kind of kneeling down, watching. and you have all these other images that go with Christmas. And there's a song. Do you know the song that has "Come Let Us Adore" in it? Everybody? Yeah, well, what is it? Thank you. Oh, come all ye faithful. Oh, come all ye faithful. I don't know if you can, are you allowed to sing through these masks? Or you could, okay, so you can sing out there. Maybe I will sing the words and you hum, okay? So, oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Do you know the words in Latin? Could you hum it in Latin, do you think? Well, I don't know. I won't ask you to do that. I'm not going to sing it in Latin. I'm going to make sure our time doesn't get away from us. But you know, that's an interesting translation. I was raised Catholic. I was 4 years in Catholic seminary when I was in high school. I had 4 years of Latin. And I'm always very interested in how words come together. And so you're familiar with the Deste Fidelis, okay, which is translated, O come all ye faithful. But you know what? There's no O there in a Deste Fidelis. So we got an O come there with a Deste. We've got an O come with Venite. Veni, vidi, vici, right? So we've got Venite adoremus. And we have Venite, and it goes, Adeste Fidelis, Leti Triumphantes, Venite, Venite in Bethlehem, Natum videte, Regem Angelorum, Venite adoremus, Venite adoremus, Venite adoremus, Dominum. There's no Christos Dominum in there, which I found very, very interesting. But the translation has it in a different way. That's part of our ongoing civilization, evidently. Also, there's no O's. What I want to impress on you, and this is the lesson today, folks. If you don't remember anything else, remember this. That adeste fidelis is ad este. If you're familiar with Latin, it means ad is always two, and este is like you, people. But it's a form of the verb sum, S-U-M. You know, cogito ergo sum, Descartes. I think, therefore I am. I think he had it backwards. I am, therefore I think. Really makes a lot more sense to me. But that sum word, ad este, means be present. The "oh, come all ye faithful" is kind of like an invitation. It's kind of like, even maybe like, if you got nothing else to do, you know, come. But in the Latin, it's an imperative. It is a command. It is an absolute command. Come and be present. And since it's from the sum, I say, come be present in your I am presence, that divine presence of you. So where I'm getting to here is this is not only about the birth of Jesus the Christ, which certainly this season is about and is so very important. We wouldn't be celebrating like we're celebrating if it wasn't for the birth of Jesus the Christ. Let's be honest about that. And so, but the idea of ourselves being present to our own I am. Come on, folks. I think that's what he was really writing back then, although he maybe didn't even know it. That's what metaphysics will do to you. What can you say? And then you get to venite. Venite is also a command. It's a command form. It is not "oh, venite." It's venite. It's come. Come, let us adore. That's venite adoremus. There's no hymn there, maybe inferred by somebody, but there's no hymn, just like there's no Christos Dominum. And so I take this metaphysically to mean, what am I supposed to be doing here? What is this Christmas really all about for me? Isn't it really about me becoming in deeper relationship with the presence and power of Mother, Father, God within me? Jim Rosemary said it over and over. What's our greatest desire? It's to know God. We may think that it's not, but eventually it comes down to that, because after all the stuff and all the things, there's still that wanting more. Wanting more. And so, I don't really think I've been talking that long, but evidently it looks like it from the clock, so I apologize. I think we're about where we needed to be. So, when you hear that song, "O Come All Ye Faithful," this Christmas season, and maybe every Christmas season hereafter, you will recognize that it is a call for you, that it is a call for me to recognize and come to the presence within me. And with that, I'm going to stop that, and we're going to go right into meditation. And we have a picture of a manger. And so what I would ask you to envision for yourself is, who's in that manger? Well, it represents Jesus the Christ in that manger. Jesus who came down to change the world. But that's what we're here for too. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just imagine that it is you. It is you that has come to change the world. And that no matter what your circumstance today, no matter where you have been, what you have done, where you think you are going, that each one of us, you, I, all of you out there, have come here by choice, as Jesus did, to change the world. To recognize that God is love, and that love is who we are. Because the presence and power of God is within us and all around us. We cannot be separated. When we have lost God, it's not God who's lost. It's us. And so this Christmas, let us resolve to be that shining baby light. To share the best of who we are. To give the best of who we are. To let go of criticism, of condemnation, of judgment, of blame, and gossip. Jesus said, before you pray, if you have anything against your brother, take care of that first. And we can do that, fortunately, in the incredible capacity of our minds, with our hearts together. So Let us spend just a moment in the silence. As we allow ourselves to take in and be aware of the light above us, within us, the presence and power of God, of love. My beloved, mighty I Am Presence, I love you, and I give you all authority in my life. You are within me, as well as above me. My beloved, mighty I Am Presence. Can you repeat that? My beloved, mighty I Am Presence, I love you, and I give you all authority in my life. Give you all authority in my life. You are within me, as well as above me. I invite you to take a deep breath, or 2, or 3, or 4. And open your eyes, wiggle your toes, move your fingers, put your hands on your heart. I'm going to do this little transition before I understand there's going to be a very emotional thing. The favorite song, Christmas song, is All I Want for Christmas Is You. Have you heard that one? Great song. It's never going to be the same after today, because what I'm going to ask you to do, and I am going to do, is whenever I hear this song, I'm going to be holding the idea that all I want for Christmas is God. All I want for Christmas is love. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing that I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I don't need to hang my stocking there upon the fireplace. Santa Claus won't make me happy with a toy on Christmas Day. I just want you for my own. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but there's a lot of you babies in there, a lot of you babies in this song. And let's remember, as that was up there, we are the babies. We're baby Christ in a lot of ways, working at being grown up. So God bless you, and amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend Rich. So all I want for Christmas is you. My name is Joan Breckling. I'm the president of the Board of Trustees, and we're entering now into a part of the service today that is a special time. As everybody knows, we are going through a lot of change, a lot of transitions with the departure of the Simmons. And I need to make sure you understand that, as we announced earlier this fall, that today is another departure, and we are certainly here today to honor Sean and Tawny Wright. They have been with us for over 15 years, sharing their incredible music. And it's just been a convergence of a number of factors that has led to this change today. So as a former member of the choir myself, our survey recently said, I think it was over 50% of the people who responded said that at some point in time they had been a member of the choir. So I think that's a significant demonstration of one of the ways in which Sean and Tani have had a wonderful impact here for us. They've shared their music, they've shared their expertise, and I think you'll be hearing very shortly from choir members who have had the benefit of that wonderful experience. So I wanted to invite anyone who's here today or who is listening, if you would like to share your gratitude to Sean and Tani by dropping off a card or a gift at the church, have their name on it, care of Unity Spiritual Center, we will make sure that that gets to them. So let's enjoy. We have another song coming up, actually 2 more songs coming up, and but now I'd like to introduce Sally Sledge, who's going to share a special presentation honoring them.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sally Sledge, and it is my task this morning, and indeed it is my privilege, to introduce a tribute to Sean and Tani. Tani as music director, Sean as choir director for the past 15 years. A word about being a choir director. It is not an easy job. It's a job of herding vocal cats with all of their individual voices into a cohesive whole that is hopefully in tune and pleasant sounding when it all comes together. And Sean Wright, you are the best at being the choir director. Reasons for this? And I hope you're listening, Sean and Tani. Sean, you have a great sense of humor. You taught us instead of lectured us. You were very clear on setting the bar high, making your expectations clear, and then motivating us to work harder to meet those expectations. We learned quickly that you made a kind of face, kind of like this, which meant we were microtonally flat and we needed to pull it together and be even more on top of the pitch. And your choice of music and your expertise in doing a show, doing music in this very room, brought in so many people from outside Unity to know what we're all about. And so in short, Tani and Sean, you were the best, and the following is our tribute, a PowerPoint slideshow as a tribute to you from your loyal and dedicated choir. We love you.
Our convictions all in place, but one by one they tumble, each one a gift from grace. We can change our point of view, and gaze upon the beauty that is me, that is you. But when there comes the courage to knock a hole out of this wall, we take time to find what's true. And now no other looks upon my soul the way you do. We see what we want to see and what we wish to be. It's just the way we dream it, the key to what we would believe is just to know that everything's a miracle when seen through the eyes of love. Simple man becomes a king, a child flies on silver wings, a woman now becomes a queen. None of us are what we see. We see what we want to see, and what we wish to be. Anything is possible. It's just the way we dream it. The key now becomes what we would believe. None of us are just to know that everything
beautiful tribute to Sean, Tawny, and our choir. Thank you, Sally, for putting that together. We really appreciate it. Unity stands for peace. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths for God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, one life. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey or transformation, you are welcome here. If you are new to our ministry and are interested in learning more about our upcoming informational speakers, workshops, and events, please sign up for our email newsletter by texting Unity Spokane to 22828 or sign up on our website at unityspokane.org. We would also like to connect with you on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane to find us. Now is our time to celebrate abundance together as we share our gifts and our love offerings. For those of you feeling the divine call to financially support our ministry today, you can drop your offerings in the box at the back of the sanctuary. Another option is to text GIVE to 253-528-7416. Or visit our website, unityspokane.org, and click the donate button at the top. Please know that your giving means so much to the vitality of our ministry. With that in mind, let us take a moment now to sink into our hearts. Close your eyes if you want to for a moment, and bring forth a feeling of gratitude and generosity for all that we have and all that we are grateful for. And that's a lot. Let's say our love offering blessing together. Ready? I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. Our chaplains today are Gary Howard, who is holding the virtual service in prayer at home, and Cheryl Miller-Arndt, who is holding space here in the sanctuary. Thank you so much, Gary and Cheryl, for your service today and for all that the chaplains do in this ministry. We would like to encourage anyone who is in need of prayer support to please submit your request through our online form. Simply go to unityspokane.org and click on the Contact Us button on the main page. You will be taken to the prayer request form. Names are added to our prayer list and are prayed over for 30 days by both our prayer ministry and as well as Silent Unity. Let us now all join together for our closing prayer for protection, which will be followed by our closing choir song entitled, The Heavens Are Telling. Together, let's affirm. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth.
The COVID pandemic has affected the joy of many choirs congregating and being able to fellowship. However, thanks to my dear husband Sean, we have a choir. He spent countless hours figuring out how to create a Zoom choir. This has allowed the Unity Choir to find a new way to fellowship and create music. Each Thursday night, Sean has provided a fun, entertaining, and highly educational forum for the choir to learn to grow together and create music. No matter where you are, you can join us Thursday nights at 7 p.m. We have all felt the stresses of COVID, but we hope hearing this group sing will give you hope and a sense of joy. We hope our efforts will lighten your heart.
Attending today, and for those of you who joined us online, please be sure to tune into the Zoom call after services. If everyone in the sanctuary could just stand up and head to the exit. Follow the arrows to the right, and please feel free to congregate in the parking lot. Thank you so much.